You made a promise. You remember that moment when you looked in the mirror and said you were going to change. When you told yourself this was it. This was the time you were finally going to become who you knew you could be. Remember that conversation you had with yourself in the dark at 3 in the morning when life had beaten you down and you said enough is enough. Where is that person now? Where did that fire go? Because right now you're sitting here making excuses about why it's too hard, why it's taking too long, why other people have it easier. You're telling yourself stories about how you're different, how your situation is special, how the rules don't apply to you the same way. Stop lying to yourself. The promise you made wasn't conditional. You didn't say you'd change if it was easy. You didn't say you'd grow if it was convenient. You didn't say you'd become great if everything went according to plan. You made a promise, period. And promises aren't suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not things you do when you feel like it. A promise is your word, and your word is all you have in this world. When you break your word to yourself, you're telling the universe that you can't be trusted. You're telling yourself that you're not worth keeping a commitment to. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you quit when it gets hard, you're breaking that promise. And here's what happens when you keep breaking promises to yourself. You start to believe that you're the kind of person who doesn't follow through. You start to believe that you're weak. You start to believe that you don't have what it takes. And once you believe that about yourself, it becomes your reality. But you're not done yet. You think you are, but you're not. You think you've given everything you had, but you haven't. You think you've reached your limit, but you haven't even scratched the surface of what you're capable of. The human spirit is designed to endure way more than you think. Your body can handle way more than you think. Your mind can push through way more than you think. The problem is, you've been treating your life like it's a practice round, like there's going to be another chance, like there's going to be a better time, like somehow the stars are going to align and everything is going to be perfect, and then you'll finally be ready to keep that promise. Wake up. This is it. This is your life. This is your one shot. There is no practice round. There is no dress rehearsal. There is no better time coming. There is only right now and what you do with it. You want to know what separates the people who make it from the people who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's not circumstances. It's the ability to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It's the ability to show up when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to honor your commitments to yourself even when no one is watching. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. That's not discipline. That's just willpower, and willpower runs out. True discipline is about becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done because that's who you are. It's about making your word so important to you that breaking it feels impossible. When you made that promise to yourself, you weren't just talking about changing your habits. You weren't just talking about losing weight or making more money or getting in shape. You were talking about becoming a different person. You were talking about transformation. And transformation is painful. It's supposed to be painful. You can't become a butterfly without first dissolving into soup in the cocoon. You can't become strong without first breaking down your muscles. You can't become wise without first confronting your ignorance. Growth requires destruction of who you used to be. That's why it hurts so much. That's why every day feels like a battle. That's why you want to quit, because you're literally dying and being reborn every single day. The old you, the weak you, the excuse-making you is fighting for its life. And it should be, because you're here to kill it. But here's what you need to understand. The pain you're feeling right now, the discomfort, the struggle, the voice in your head telling you to quit, that's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. That's a sign that you're doing something right. That's a sign that you're growing. That's a sign that you're becoming. Most people feel that pain and they think it means they should stop. They think it means they're not cut out for it. They think it means they should go back to their old comfortable life. But comfortable is what got you here in the first place. Comfortable is what made you need to make that promise. You made that promise because you were tired of being comfortable. You were tired of settling. You were tired of knowing that you had more inside you but not doing anything about it. You were tired of living below your potential. You were tired of being average when you knew you could be extraordinary. So why are you trying to go back to comfortable now? Why are you looking for the easy path? Why are you making excuses? Why are you negotiating with yourself? Why are you acting like the promise you made doesn't matter? It matters. It matters because you matter. It matters because your life matters. It matters because the person you're becoming matters. It matters because the people watching you matter. It matters because the example you're setting matters. You think no one is watching, but they are. Your kids are watching to see if you're the kind of person who keeps their word. Your partner is watching to see if you're the kind of person who follows through. Your friends are watching to see if you're the kind of person who does what they say they're going to do. But more importantly, you're watching. Deep down inside, there's a part of you that's keeping score. There's a part of you that knows exactly how many times you've started and stopped. There's a part of you that knows exactly how many promises you've broken to yourself. There's a part of you that's tired of the disappointment. That part of you is begging you not to quit again. That part of you is begging you to finally be the person you said you were going to be. That part of you is begging you to honor the commitment you made. That part of you knows that if you quit again, it's going to be harder to believe in yourself next time. Every time you quit, you're not just losing momentum on whatever goal you were working toward. You're losing faith in yourself. You're losing trust in your own word. You're creating evidence that you're the kind of person who doesn't follow through. But every time you push through when you want to quit, you're creating evidence that you're the kind of person who keeps their promises. You're creating evidence that you're strong. You're creating evidence that you're reliable. You're creating evidence that your word means something. That's what this is really about. This isn't about losing weight or making money or getting in shape. This is about who you are as a person. This is about integrity. This is about character. This is about becoming someone you can respect. And right now, if you're honest with yourself, you don't respect yourself. You can't. Because you know you've been breaking promises to yourself. You know you've been taking the easy way out. You know you've been settling for less than what you're capable of. That feeling you have in your gut right now, that feeling of disappointment in yourself, that feeling of knowing you could be doing more, that feeling is there for a reason. It's there to motivate you. It's there to push you. It's there to remind you that you're not living up to your potential. Most people try to numb that feeling. They try to distract themselves from it. They try to rationalize it away. They try to convince themselves that they're fine the way they are, but you're not fine. And deep down you know it. You know you're capable of more. You know you have gifts that you're not using. You know you have potential that you're not tapping into. You know you have dreams that you've given up on. You know you have goals that you've stopped pursuing. That knowledge is eating you alive. That knowledge is what wakes you up at 3 in the morning. That knowledge is what makes you feel empty even when you should be happy. That knowledge is what makes you feel like you're wasting your life. And you are wasting your life. Every day that you don't honor the promise you made to yourself is a day wasted. Every day that you choose comfort over growth is a day wasted. Every day that you settle for average when you know you could be great is a day wasted. How many more days are you going to waste? How many more weeks? How many more months? How many more years? How much more of your life are you going to throw away because you don't want to feel uncomfortable? Because that's what this comes down to, comfort. You'd rather be comfortable and disappointed than uncomfortable and growing. You'd rather be comfortable and average than uncomfortable and extraordinary. You'd rather be comfortable and safe than uncomfortable and alive. but comfort is killing you. Comfort is making you soft. Comfort is making you weak. Comfort is making you forget who you really are and what you're really capable of. You weren't put here to be comfortable. You weren't put here to take the easy path. You weren't put here to settle for average. You weren't put here to live a life of quiet desperation, wondering what could have been. You were put here to grow. You were put here to challenge yourself. You were put here to become everything you're capable of becoming. You were put here to push the limits of what's possible. You were put here to keep the promises you make to yourself. The promise you made wasn't just about changing your circumstances. It was about changing yourself. It was about becoming the kind of person who deserves the life you want. It was about becoming the kind of person who can handle success. It was about becoming the kind of person who doesn't quit when things get hard. Because here's the truth that no one wants to tell you. If you can't keep a promise to yourself when no one is watching, how can you be trusted to keep promises to other people? If you can't discipline yourself to do what you know you should do, how can you be trusted with responsibility? If you can't follow through on your own commitments, how can anyone count on you? Your integrity isn't just about how you treat other people. It's about how you treat yourself. It's about whether your actions match your words. It's about whether you do what you say you're going to do. It's about whether you can be trusted. And right now, you can't be trusted. You can't even trust yourself. Because you know that when things get hard, you quit. You know that when things get uncomfortable, you look for an excuse. You know that when the going gets tough, you get going in the opposite direction. But that ends today. Today you remember who you really are. Today you remember the promise you made. Today you remember why you made it. Today you remember that you're not done yet. You're not done because you haven't become who you promised you would become. You're not done because you haven't achieved what you promised you would achieve. You're not done because you haven't given everything you have to give. You're not done because you haven't pushed yourself to your limits. You're not done because there's still fire inside you. You can feel it right now. It might be small, it might be barely flickering, but it's there. And as long as it's there, you're not done. That fire is your potential trying to get out. That fire is your greatness trying to emerge. That fire is your true self trying to break free from all the excuses and limitations and fears that have been holding you back. Stop smothering that fire with comfort. Stop drowning it with excuses. Stop killing it with mediocrity. Feed it, fuel it, fan it into a blaze that burns away everything that's not serving you. The promise you made to yourself is still valid. The deadline hasn't passed. The opportunity hasn't expired. The door hasn't closed. You still have time, but time is running out. Every day you wait is a day closer to regret. Every day you procrastinate is a day closer to looking back and wishing you had done things differently. Every day you settle is a day closer to the end of your life, knowing you never really tried. Is that how you want your story to end? Is that the legacy you want to leave? Is that the example you want to set? Is that the person you want to be remembered as? Or do you want to be remembered as someone who kept their word? Someone who didn't quit when things got hard? Someone who honored their commitments? Someone who became everything they were capable of becoming? The choice is yours. But it's a choice you have to make right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Right now. Because the person you were when you made that promise is still inside you. They're waiting for you to remember them. They're waiting for you to honor them. They're waiting for you to become them. That person knew what you were capable of. That person saw your potential. That person believed in you. That person made a promise because they knew you could keep it. Are you going to prove them right? Are you going to honor the faith they had in you? Are you going to become the person they knew you could be? Or are you going to let them down again? Are you going to break another promise? Are you going to quit when they're counting on you to push through? The choice is yours. But remember this, that promise wasn't just words. It was a commitment. It was a contract with yourself. It was your word. And your word is all you have. When everything else is stripped away, when all the excuses are exhausted, when all the comfortable options are gone, all you have left is whether or not you're the kind of person who keeps their word. So what's it going to be? Are you going to be the kind of person who keeps their promises? Or are you going to be the kind of person who quits when things get hard? The promise is still there, waiting for you to honor it, waiting for you to remember why it mattered, waiting for you to prove that your word means something. You're not done yet. You know it. I know it. The person you made that promise to knows it. So stop acting like you are. Stop looking for reasons to quit. Stop making excuses for why you can't keep going. Instead, find reasons to continue. Find reasons to push through. Find reasons to honor the commitment you made. Find reasons to become who you promised you would become. Because that person is still possible. That life is still available. That future is still within reach. But only if you stop quitting. Only if you stop making excuses. Only if you stop choosing comfort over growth. The promise you made to yourself was sacred. It was the most important commitment you could make, because it was a commitment to your own potential. It was a commitment to your own growth. It was a commitment to your own greatness. Honor that commitment. Keep that promise. Become that person. Not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. And your word matters. Your integrity matters. Your character matters. You matter. You're not done yet. The promise is still valid. The commitment still stands. The person you're becoming is still waiting. So get up, get moving, get back to work. Honor the promise you made. Become who you said you would become. Because you're not done yet. And until you are, you keep going. No matter what. No matter how hard it gets. No matter how much it hurts. No matter how long it takes. You keep the promise, because that's who you are. That's who you've always been. That's who you're meant to be. You're not done yet.